you to tell us who you are and where you're from and what do you do, Annette.
Hi everybody. Good morning. It's 7 in the morning. I'm from New York. I live 60 miles north of Manhattan in a town called Brewster. So it's more of a suburban area that I live in, but I did grow up in New York City. So I don't know, 20 plus years ago, we made the change to come up here when we started a family. Um, how did we meet? So about 5 years ago, I had a bout of diverticulitis. Um, and after I recovered from that, my gut never recovered from the diverticulitis. I had bloating, I had abdominal discomfort. My eating was never the same. Everything that I ate before the diverticulitis just didn't agree with me afterwards, and I couldn't figure out how to change that. Um, I had problems with my bowels as a result of the diverticulitis. And yes, I went to the doctor and they did, I can't tell you how many cultures, how many blood tests. I had, I think, one or at least two CT scans of my abdomen. Everything came out normal or negative. And all the doctor told me was, well, everything's normal. Just take Imodium whenever you have any problems or diarrhea or anything, and let's just see what happens. And to me, taking medication was not the answer I was looking for. I wanted to know, how do I fix this? So, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, and all these feeds would come up about different diets and everything, but nothing. I think what attracted me to Davy Mayer was that it talked about gut health. And I was like, oh, I've never seen that before. Nobody's ever mentioned gut health before. So it caught my attention. Um, I kind of ignored it for a little bit, but you kept coming up in my feeds. And I was like, I think this is somebody higher talking to me, telling me I need to do something. Um, so I finally, just put in my name, and somebody got back to me and we talked, and I was like, yeah, I think this is exactly what I'm looking for. And I think I signed up on the spot.
That's
So
amazing. So
that's
that's
so
actually
that's how I ended up with Davy, and it'll be 2 years come April of 24. It'll be 2 years.
that's incredible. Like it was actually, yeah, 2 years ago in April, mid-April. It's fantastic. And you initially signed up for 4 months, and here you are with
Yes,
us, only 2 years.
two
That's
years.
that's why that's the reason why I want to bring you on, because you're not overweight by any means. So people might be asking, how would someone stay in a program for over 2 years? We can dig deep into that in a little bit, but the diverticulitis is basically inflammation of your colon. Would it be
Yes.
so was that from lifestyle or poor food habits or stress or low fiber? Who did you ever get answers of the reason?
I never got an answer of why it happened or what caused it. Um, I don't know. Nobody else in my family has it. I don't think it's a hereditary factor. Um, but it was so painful. I thought it was appendicitis because diverticulitis was the last thing on my brain. I actually thought it was my appendix. And that's how I
Okay.
ended up in the hospital.
Yeah, the thing you're in hospital for, can tell us again. That it must have been a very frightening ordeal, or not a good experience. Obviously, it's pain. You're in pain, and the doctors they treat the symptoms. They don't really
Yeah.
get to the root cause. They do. They kind of put a band-aid on it, or they give you a few tablets. Or what happened with the doctors? Your experience?
They did the scan there. They ruled out the appendicitis. They diagnosed the diverticulitis. And it was essentially, I came home with, I think it was 3 weeks of antibiotics that I had to be on. And and then it was, I had to limit my diet for like the first 3 weeks or so. So everything that I thought of as bad, so like white bread, white rice, um, white potatoes. You know, it had to be, everything was very bland and very limited, the diet, when as I was recovering. Um, but you know, within like 36 hours after starting the antibiotic, I was like, wow, I'm pain free. This is, you know, astonishing from the pain that I was in. But, you know, like I said, my gut after that was never the same. And there were
Okay.
no answers why my gut didn't return to what it was beforehand.
And how long were you suffering for, or trying to find answers?
Just about 3 years. I want to
Three
say it
years,
was
gosh.
3 years between doctors and me trying to fix it myself, you know, trying to figure out what do I change, what do I add. Like nothing I did helped me figure out what was wrong or how to fix it. Um, and then like I said, I was just scrolling, and you popped up one day, and you mentioned that gut health, and it was that gut health that caught my attention,
Hmm.
because nobody else ever talked about that gut health. And that's what I was looking for, help with my gut.
Yeah, because the gut, everything starts in the gut. Did it have an effect on your mood as well, or your energy?
Oh,
I know.
yeah, I
What,
was drained. I had no energy. I was cranky. You know, on the days where my stomach didn't bother me or my gut didn't bother me, those were good days, but they were few and far in between. And everything else, like my gut just ruled my everything, my mood, my outlook, my skin, my hair, everything. It just affected everything.
really? You also had, I mean, your knees, your two knee replacements, I
Yeah,
believe, your
I had two
shoulders, your
new.
rotator cuff, a lot of stuff going on, didn't you?
I've had lots of stuff throughout the years. My two knees replaced, my left one in 2015, my right one in 2020. I have two shoulders. I've had three shoulder surgeries, um, rotator cuff on
Wow.
both of them. And then I don't know how many years ago I felt on dry ice, and I slipped and I dislocated my shoulder, and I ended up tearing my labrum, and that had to be repaired because my shoulder kept popping in and out.
Okay, and so that's a lot of injuries then. So it requires a different approach with your gut health. You're petite as well, aren't you? You're 5'1", I believe.
Yes.
You're not overweight. So we have lots of women like yourself who are not overweight, but they're still maybe not as body confident as they'd like, or they have GI issues or hormonal issues or adrenal issues, etc. But tell me what happened when you came into the program. Tell me about what the turnaround, I guess.
So I came into the program. I was paired with Charlotte as my coach. And those first 2 weeks, I want to say, were just, you know, figuring out what I eat, learning how to use the app, learning how to use my fitness pal, you know, entering the food and you know, calculating and all that. And um, there was a 1,500 calorie 7 week meal plan that was sent. And, you know, I followed that. And um, I remember with Charlotte, at the time that I met her, I think I was trying more of a vegetarian diet to see if it would fix my gut. And I don't know how long into our meeting that we started to talk about that, but um and I had changed like my dairy and milk content and what I was eating. And Charlotte was just like, well, why are you eating veggie burgers? Why don't you just eat a hamburger? And I was like, well, isn't red meat bad for you? And she goes, no, it's perfectly healthy. Your body needs the red meat. Just eat the red meat and let's see what happens. So I took some stuff out. So I stopped eating like a lot of the vegetarian burgers and stuff that I was eating. I just dropped the milk altogether, just went on to regular like fat-free lactate milk when I wanted it. And not, I don't drink it that often. Um, and I changed some other stuff. And in the 2 week time or the 1 week time between our talks, my gut did a complete 180. It was absolutely amazing. My bloating was virtually gone. My gas was gone. My bowels became normal. My bowel movements became more steady and formed. Um, I was just eating better, felt better, more energized. It was absolutely like a light bulb went on, like the clouds were lifted. And I remember when I talked to Charlotte the next time, I was like, I can't believe that eating red meat and regular food like made me feel better. And she was like, well, these are the nutrients that our bodies needs and they crave, and it's what we've been handed down from caveman days when all we ate was meat and root vegetables and stuff. So um it was just eye-opening to me after that. I was like, oh my God, what else can we fix? Let's keep going. And that was like really the journey of the first 4 months, was really learning about food. And I love to eat. I love food. I'm not overweight because I eat junk food. I was overweight as a child because I like food. I like to eat. I like to try different ethnic foods and different preparing things differently. And I think the biggest thing that I started to learn in those first 4 months was forming a healthy relationship with food. Like
Mm.
food wasn't the enemy, food was actually the good guy. Carbs aren't bad for you, carbs are actually good for you. So
Yeah,
I started to learn a lot about food and what we need and why we need, and how to balance. And that's really, once I started to learn that in the first 4 months, I was like, oh no, I got more to learn. We need to keep going.
that's fantastic. Gosh, if there's anyone in the group that thinks carbs are bad for you or red meat causes health issues, let us know in the comments. And obviously, if you're watching this live, just comment below #live. If you're watching on the replay, comment below #replay. So, did you, Annette, uh, have any expensive supplements, or was it just purely change of diet and lifestyle? Like, did any
I
like
just changed
probiotic?
just changed my lot diet, my lifestyle. I did start the iodine drops that Charlotte recommended in the beginning, and that was life changing. Um the clarity, the energy, it was just like, about a week or so after starting those, and I've kept on them for 2 years now. Um I feel the difference.
Why did
Completely
you have
feel the
some?
difference.
Did you have thyroid issues or blood sugar issues or anything? What iodine? Was it
No,
lack of
my
energy?
thyroid, whenever I've had it tested, has always been normal. Blood sugar issues, no. I think only during my pregnancies did I have blood sugar issues, but that was about it. Otherwise, I don't have any blood sugar issues.
Did you do any of our testing? I think in the early stages.
I did do the testing in the beginning. Nothing came back overtly abnormal or lacking or anything like that.
No stool testing.
I don't think I did the stool testing. No,
It was just the blood. Okay.
just
So
the blood.
what about then? I mean, your injuries. Did we? What did Charlotte provide in terms of the workouts? I know you love your spinning, your strength training, obviously. I mean, you're very active. You were
Um,
always very active, but was it? What did she provide in terms of training, mobility, flexibility,
um,
or
so when I trained with Charlotte, I pretty much had a steady workout routine already established. After I had my left knee replaced back in 2015, after I recovered, um, my surgeon wanted me to spend 3 months in a pool because the injury and the repair was quite extensive on my left knee. So he didn't want me doing anything heavy. So he wanted me in a pool for 3 months, um, moving around, swimming, aqua size or whatever it's called, all in the pool. So I did that for 3 months. And then at that point, my surgeon said, okay, I want you to find a trainer and I want you to learn how to strengthen not only that knee but the right knee, so that we can protect that right knee from the same thing happening. So I did. I got a trainer. I was how long ago? 2015. So I was like, what, 10 years ago? Um, and with my first trainer, I became hooked on on lifting, on going to the gym, on challenging my body, and it became something that I fell in love with. I was like, oh my God, the gym is so much fun. Um, so after he left the gym, I went to another gym closer to home. I got another trainer, but now my trainer was now female, and that was a completely different mindset. Training with a female trainer, she took me into the big boy, what I call the big boy section of the gym. It has the Smith machine and
Hmm.
the barbells and the weights and um, the squat machine. It had all these things, and like I never went into that area. I was always very intimidated to go in, and my trainer was smaller than me and this petite little thing, and she's like, oh no, come on, let's go, we're going into the gym, we're going to lift heavy. So I actually learned how to lift heavy from her, how to do deadlifts, how to do barbell squats, how to um, um, do all the heavy things that now I pretty much do on my own. I do have another trainer that I go to now, and I see him maybe once or twice a week, and I take a class that he does on Sundays. But now I'm in the gym like at least 4 to 5 days a week, and I absolutely love it. And I was of the mindset that um, if you lifted heavy weights, you were going to get big and bulky like a guy. And Noelia, who was my female trainer, she was like, "Oh no, that it helps us to build muscle, get because muscle burns fat, and it gives us women our curves and our shapes, so we don't bulk up. We just get more definition and lean." And once I started lifting and that started to happen, I was like, "Oh my God, this is amazing." And then once I
Hmm.
added Davy to that and Charlotte to that, it just kind of got even better.
Yeah, the greatest anti-aging product a woman can use is build muscle or maintain muscle. It
Yeah.
drastically decreases the risk of osteoporosis, of Alzheimer's, which is type 3 diabetes, even insulin resistance. It's a must for every woman because you're losing your hormones and you're
Yeah.
losing muscle mass. You're gaining belly fat, which is a natural process of life, but it's so crucial to do strength training. And there's a myth out there, women think that they'll get big and bulky, but unless they're injecting
Yep.
themselves with testosterone, they're not. So that's amazing
Exactly.
what you've done. You had everything, the package. You had strength training, the mobility, the gut health, the nutrition, mindset though. Did mindset play any part in this? I mean, you were hopping on a call with Charlotte nearly every week. Was did she help you? Did your mindset change in any way in the last 2 years, or
So
were you
my
always?
mindset changed greatly in terms of food, learning about food, eating correctly, learning about macros. Um, my mindset changed in terms of body image. My mindset changed in terms of I was always focused on the number on the scale. I was obsessed with the number on the scale, weighing myself daily. And that is something that I have let go of. I don't remember the last time I stepped on a scale. I know I'm always between 133, 138. I'm perfectly happy with that. And I really use my clothes as my measure of how I'm doing. And my clothes have never fit better. I've actually, had to change a few things and buy some new clothes because things have just gotten big on me. So I didn't lose a lot of weight. I probably only lost between 5 and 7 pounds, but I lost a lot of inches. And I definitely gained more muscle and have lost more of that fat.
That's incredible. Yeah, a lot of people are obsessed with the weighing scales, but it doesn't define them. It doesn't tell you how much fat you're losing or how much
Exactly.
muscle you're gaining. You should always go by how your clothes feel,
Yep.
your energy, your strength, your sleep, your overall mood, and is the main things, that the biofeedback basically. Scale doesn't mean anything. I mean, we've had some people
Exactly.
lose 30 pounds in the past, and they're still not happy with their weight because they're doing the incorrect training, and they're just maybe
Mm.
skinny fat. Uh, You did it the correct way. I mean, you're combining the strength training with fueling your body correctly. It's great. You weren't obsessed with the scales. That's great transformation.
Yeah,
What about the
it was a
community?
huge. What about the
Sorry,
what?
sorry. No, it was a huge what? It was a huge. You were saying
Yeah,
there.
it was a huge mindset change for me to let go of that scale. It really, um, you know, I, we grow up in a society that, your number is your value, and I just kind of let go of that number.
So speaking of numbers, Annette, if you don't mind sharing, aren't you going to be 60 in it's July?
In July, yeah.
That's
I am
incredible.
so
That,
excited to turn 60. It's a milestone. It's a milestone birthday. Um, I've accomplished loads in my life. My kids are up, grown, and independent, and hopefully maybe retire next year in 2025. And I'm excited.
do you have any grandkids?
I don't have any grandkids. My daughter just got married in August of last year, so hopefully in the next few years I'll have grandkids.
I'm sure. I mean, when you're in your 70s, 80s, you're going to be as strong. You're going to have vitality. You won't be using a walking stick anyway, that's for sure. You'll be able to run after
Exactly.
your
And that's what I
grandkids.
told Yep, that's what I told my daughter. I said, I intend to be running after my grandkids, and then you running after me, but I'll be
That,
faster than you.
that's incredible. The foundations you put in for the 2 years with us is it's priceless. The longevity, the health, the knock-on effect. Has there been a knock-on effect on your family?
Yes, I think the biggest thing I've really learned, I think this is the most consistent I've ever been on any program I've ever been. It's been the learning curve has been huge, but it's definitely lifelong habits that I've learned to implement that now when I happen to fall off of them, or like over the Christmas time I was sick, and that kind of lasted from December through February, and I went through that with Charlotte and everything. She helped me with it. Um so there's struggles in between the 2 years that I've had, but no matter what happened, I was always able to come back to the basics and just get right back on track.
Yeah, that's amazing. That mental focus and attitude you have is unparalleled. It's something that you have inside you that not many other people have. It's 2 years in a program. I mean, have you any advice to anyone maybe thinking about signing up in this group? They're like thinking, "Oh my God, I'm in my 60s. I'm in my 50s. I have all these health issues. I want to be around for my grandkids." Have you any message to them who are nervous or cautious about investing in themselves?
That's exactly it. It's an investment in yourself. We invest in everything else. We invest in our cars, we invest in our homes, we invest in our education, we invest in everything outside of ourselves. And this time around, I really learned to put myself first and invest in me. And then I've been able to give that, to others. I had two other friends join the program, and my kids, when they were here, when they lived at home and I was doing the program, they learned the eating from what I was doing, and they would be like, "Oh, that's really interesting, Mom. Where'd you learn that?" Um,
Yeah,
so it's what you put in and how you invest yourself is what you're going to get out of it, and that you'll be able to pass on to friends and family, um, for health. Because if it's the building block of everything I've come to learn, and if you don't have your health, you can't take care of anybody else or do much of anything besides just being stuck where you are. And the
Exactly.
negativity in the brain is very powerful. I was stuck in that negative circle, just going around in circles, moving absolutely nowhere. And getting off of that circle and actually, doing a complete 180, it's scary, it's challenging, it's enlightening. But once you start to see all those changes take place and really start to feel normal and good and energetic, it's like, wow, it's working.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, a lot of people have no problem spending money on a phone or a handbag
Yeah.
or a vacation, a pair of shoes
Yes.
that cost
Yes.
thousands of dollars. But when it comes to their
Thousands of
health, they're like,
no.
God, no. It's just
Yep.
mind-boggling to me.
Yep. I completely and totally agree.
Um,
So take the
yeah,
jump. It's so worth it.
okay, that's incredible. So I I'm very conscious of your time. It's 6 a.m. You have to get some. You're up early because you're doing
Yes,
night
I
shift
am.
and you're up in courses. But I'm
Yes,
so
I am. I am. I am a nurse by profession, and it's a 24/7 job. So right now I'm in the education department, so we're running some night classes for some staff that need some classes at night. So I was doing that last night.
well. You're an amazing woman. Thanks for your time, Annette. And we
Thank
really,
you, Dave.
I can. I'm trying stay on the line there, and I'll have a quick chat with you if you don't
Okay,
mind.
sure. Nope, not at all.
Let me see if there's any questions. First of all, there may be some questions from people in the group. Heather or Shireen, pop your questions below if you have any questions. But let me see here. And this, I can call your cell phone very briefly, Annette.
Okay.
Okay.